And now, weighing in out of the blue corner, Jon the Punk Thompson. 100%. And on the other mic, he weighs in from the red corner, Big John McCarthy.
Oh, 3, 2, 1, live. That's what we are. What's up, everyone? It is the Weighing In Podcast. My man, Josh Thompson. We got podcast Dave sitting there with the controls. He's been clicking all night long, putting out all kinds of cool stuff for us. What is going on, my man? We had a very nice interview today. Yep. We got to work a little time off. I got to do some more work on the house. You did nothing. I know you did nothing. Nothing.
John, I'm going to have to start getting some credit for the way things run around here. Come on,
first off, I know what it's like to be the
underappreciated. Yes, I get it.
No, well, you're an Uber driver. Let's be honest, okay? You're an Uber driver who is an ATM machine, who drives kids to practices. Yes. And then you get no credit for doing any of it.
100%. It really, man, it's been awesome though, man. And we're having a blast. There's a lot going on. Dave, welcome back. I know we had you last week and the week before, but I feel like a week is just every week. It's only once a week. It's not enough, man. We used to have you all the time.
Oh, it's plenty. It's plenty. Oh, it's plenty. Let's be honest. Come on, man.
All right, so a couple.
Guys, I was gonna say I keep you guys busy in the group chat anyway. So
yeah. All right, guys. So I want to say one thing. We apologize for last week's show. I know there was some errors in terms of the audio, and it really just was the first time we've had a guest on that during a live show. And when you're pulling up something on this platform, it sometimes will cut out the audio for the guest. That doesn't happen when it's just John and I and Dave on here. So we don't know why it was happening last week, but hopefully we got it fixed. Dave did some research into it. I think he's done it. And good. We got some big announcements today as well. And I also want to say, if you guys haven't checked out the Sean Brady interview, it's available on our channel. We also dropped Dean Thomas, and we did two other ones. So
yes, we did. You didn't have to say anything, but it's okay. Yeah. But the Dean Thomas interview is actually fantastic. Dean is hilarious. He's a phenomenal person. You know, he's so busy. He was, actually talked to us from Singapore. Yeah. So he just arrived there. He's doing karate combat, and the man is busy.
Well, it wasn't just that. It wasn't just the fact that he didn't jump. He had just landed, just got to his hotel, was literally like in this skinny tank shirt.
No. He was in a medium.
It was a medium, yeah, medium. We call it a I said, brother, you've been shopping at Baby Gap. You gotta get rid of the clothes that you had and you wore when you were in shape.
Okay, that's the difference. He's still wearing his lightweight clothes, but he's carrying a light heavyweight body.
Yes, this is true. This is very true, and he even admits it too. But look, guys, we did two great interviews. One yesterday, one today. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to announce. We got Jens Pulver. He's on the show as well.
He was fantastic.
He was awesome. That show will drop next Tuesday. And then we had Kenny Florian on from the Anik and Florian podcast. Great. I was just on their show. If you haven't checked it out, please check it out. Obviously, you guys know who they are. They are fantastic, man. Great for the sport. History with Kenny, being involved in the sport from the Ultimate Fighter 1, and Anik just being Anik. I mean, he's the voice of the UFC. And so it was a pleasure to have Anik on, 2 weeks ago, and then now having Kenny on, and then with Jens, catching up with him, being the godfather of the lightweight division, which I will continue to always say, hopefully forever until I die, is that it is the greatest weight class in the sport of MMA, and it will continue to be that way, I think. But those two interviews that we did were absolutely fantastic, man. Jens was a full hour. We were chopping it up. I mean, we were basically like, hey, if you got to go. And he's like, no, let's keep going. And the same thing with Kenny, man. Kenny, I mean, I felt bad because I told him, 40 minutes to an hour. And we went over the hour. And I was like, man, okay, they got to get this guy off. We just lost track of time. But it was great. We had a great time. So easy to talk to. All three of them, from Dean Thomas, even Sean Brady was super easy to talk to. Just great, man. Great having the guys on, getting a different perspective on the sport right now.
Yeah, but every one of them, you've kind of had a background with them. You've had a background. I've had a background with them, and so it makes it to where you rehash old things that happened. And the best was Jens Pulver when he basically started out the interview. He goes, All right, now I want to say that you beat so and so. It was one of your early, nothing fights, but it was some guy that was in the Idaho area. Man, he says, everyone started telling me, man, your ass is cooked. This kid is coming up. Just cracked me up, man. He had you down. He knew exactly who you were back then and where you were coming from.
Yeah, he knew, man. He knew. He was fun, man. Like there was so much history. Like I said, we just missed each other in the lower level fights, and it was all this talk. I'd smoked some guys, that he was, people were talking about him maybe beating them beating Jens at the time, and then I came out and smoked this guy, and then I beat one of the guys that he wrestled with at Boise State. Anyways, I'll let you guys listen to the interview. Let him tell you the story. But it was a great interview, man. We had a lot of fun. I didn't realize how involved he is with the UFC Fight Pass, doing basically like a version of his fight breakdowns while they're going on live. He does the Dana White Contender Series. He does the UFC Fight Pass on Friday nights and Saturday nights, like for the people that are going to be fighting on the Saturday nights. He's awesome, man. He crushed it. He did a great job. Looking forward to rewatching that interview, even though I was part of it. I like to go back and kind of rewatch them a little bit and see where I fucked up and see, what little tidbits I could have done better on in the interview. But yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to having a lot more of these interviews and a lot more people on, and it's going to be fun. We're going to have some fun. Hey, before we get started though, remember, I want to remind you guys, this episode is brought to you by BetUS, and you guys use YouTube 150, get 150% bonus up to $2,000 on your first deposit.
Boom. That's
rewarded by the Weighing In podcast. Use YouTube 150 and I BetUS at their site there. This episode is brought to you by BetUS. I want to thank them, man. They've been really rocking it for us and taking care of us, and we're doing the best we can. We do our picks, John, for
picks for
football.
Fights, picks for NFL.
Yeah.
And boy, I mean, I don't want to say that I sucked this week. But you sucked. You sucked, and I was worse than that.
Yeah, which is pretty common, though. Which is pretty common. You were common the week before, common this week.
I'll tell you what, that was just horrible.
Oh, it's all right, though.
It's always second week is always the hardest.
Yeah, it is. The odds changed so much. It went from everything the first week was like, okay, +3 or -3 or even below. It was like +1, -1. But week 2 went from those lower numbers being so close in the spreads to all of a sudden it was like -9.5 and plus. I was just like, all right, now this is making it way more difficult. So week 2 is a lot more difficult to pick. And then even though the teams that I knew were going to won, they didn't cover the spread.
They didn't cover. Yeah.
So I was like,
your Chiefs just killed me again.
Yeah. I told you, man. I told you. Had I bet on them though, John, they would have just lost. So that's why I was cool. I was cool with not betting on them.
There you go.
I was cool with not betting on them. Hey, if you guys have any questions, hit us up in the live chat down there, because Podcast Dave's going to go ahead and give us some input. If you are a member, make sure you guys subscribe to us as members. We do a $4.99 membership and we do a $1.99 membership. Join us down there. The $1.99 membership gets you like a little star next to your name. So when we do live chats like this, bam, Dave can go ahead and get to your question first. Also, if you guys are the $4.99 memberships, obviously that catapults you up to the top. But then we give you guys opportunities and chance to win bonuses, basically like prizes. We had someone that won last week or 2 weeks ago, and on one of our contests. And we're gonna be trying to do a monthly contest for all you members out there. So we're trying to grow even bigger on these subscribers to our YouTube channel. So that being said, I gotta get him off Alejandro. I gotta get him off his Alex. We were calling him Alex, but I think he's Alejandro.
Alejandro.
Yeah, but anyways, we got to get him off some LMNT, a box of LMNT, a sample box of that he was looking forward to. So that's gonna go. And he's been giving me a hard time. He wears an extra large.
You're cracking me up, and I'm being honest. Hold on, I'm listening because this is all on text, and it's all the stuff of what about
you're listening to it, John? You
just
said you're listening to it.
No, I'm reading it in text.
Okay.
And it's all this. Well, because he's a bigger size than the shirt that you had.
Yeah,
and stuff. And I'm thinking, Josh, just tell him, hey man, I'll give you the shirt, but if you don't want it, it's okay. Whatever you want. But then I'm thinking, you know what? No, he actually pays to, be part of our thing.
Yeah.
You got to give him extra. I understand why Josh is doing it and stuff. So, if he wants a like a double or triple X, come my way.
Come your way. No, what we're gonna do is, we gotta start having some weighing in shirts on hand that I can just mail off. I don't have them on hand, and so I gotta order it through there and then have it shipped to him directly. But he's gonna get what he wants, man. I want to make sure that he stays happy. I want to thank him so much for being a subscriber to our YouTube channel. Dave, you know what? Let's go ahead and jump into some stuff. What do you got for us? I know Dave gets like a hard on when we're talking about Conor McGregor. And so I know this has something to do with Conor McGregor. There's no doubt it has to have something to do with Conor McGregor.
He's going to be president.
Hey, I already explained it to you, so you already know he's in there. So you're setting me up to look like a dick. You're setting me up to look like a dick. But I do have a setup for you that I wanted to kind of throw some things out there and just kind of see what you guys can do with them.
Okay.
All right, so I'm trying to get over to, there we go. Hey, then Josh, could you do me a favor? Just move like an inch or two towards your weighing in t-shirt. Just so I've got you a little more center on my thingy.
Right there?
Yeah, that's perfect. That's maybe a little too much, but that's fine.
Oh, yeah, that's right by my arm.
Right there is good. All right, so we obviously get the Michael Chandler, Charles Oliveira announcement. I don't know if you guys have touched on that much since it got announced, but on top of that, Chandler just did an interview and he said that he was supposed to get a fight with Max Holloway at 306, and it was supposed to be, there was talk of it being for BMF title. Max, he says he thinks was on vacation, and so he doesn't blame Max for not taking it. So a few things there,
Well, I'm sorry, isn't Max scheduled to fight for a world title in the 145-pound division?
But I mean, I'm just telling you what Chandler said.
But why the fuck would he fight Mike Chandler?
Yeah,
a BMF belt on the line. I mean, that's a prestigious title over there,
I'm sorry. I mean, I know. I'm sure that Michael Chandler holds himself in very high esteem compared to everyone else.
Yes.
But I would say that Max is busy getting ready for a guy named Topuria, which is a hell of a fighter, and that's for the world title. So why would he take the fight with Chandler?
Well, here's the thing, though, John. I believe that it sounded like, because Chandler keeps saying, like, if once I get this win, whoever his next guy is, right, it's Charles Oliveira. He's like, look, I get a title shot. So it must have been promised to him. Like, hey, you get this one win, we're going to give you another shot at the title, whether it's Islam or Sarukian. I would imagine if that was said to him, that was probably going to be said to Max Holloway as well, given that he just beat the actual number 2 guy who Michael Chandler lost to. It'd be hard to deny Max Holloway the shot at the title if he beat Michael Chandler. He'd already beat Justin Gaethje. So now I would rather, what I'm saying though is that fight with Chandler, it doesn't make sense for Max, to be honest, but it does give him an opportunity to fight next for the lightweight title and be a 2-division champion plus the BMF champ. 3 titles. I'm just throwing it out there, man. It does look, Max is at a point where he doesn't need the 145-pound title again. He's done it all. And then what he did to Justin Gaethje is just, I mean, that catapulted him. Like, why go back? I feel like, why even go backwards?
He's not going backwards.
Yes,
no,
he
he's
is.
not. No,
100% he is.
No, negative.
John, he is going backwards.
Backwards.
Yep. That's a backwards fight for me. Look, he's already done everything he could possibly do in 145. What is the point to be there? He's already a bigger guy. He's getting a little bit older. And I mean, he's not old. I'm just simply saying he's getting a little bit older, though.
Now we're saying he's getting old.
No, but he is getting a little bit older. What is he, 32?
Yeah.
I know, but I'm saying, John, why not get to the lightweight division when you're still kind of in your prime? Most of these guys go up in weight when they're Dave? 35, 36.
32, that's what I thought.
32.
Yeah.
But most of them try to go up in weight when they're kind of coming out of their prime. He's still in his prime. Why try and go there when it's too late? Frankie Edgar was kind of in his prime when he went to 45. Aldo just had his number. Okay. But then trying to go to 35 and all that, it was just too late. It's too hard to go.
He's sitting in a position right now.
You're not going to win this.
He's sitting in a position. It's as simple as it gets. He's sitting in a position right now where he has a title fight in front of him as a featherweight. Yes. But he doesn't, he does not have a title fight in front of him as a lightweight.
John, if he wanted that lightweight title, he would be next after Sarukian. Why not just wait, or why not?
Excuse me, did you just understand the word you just said? Next. That doesn't mean that you're going to get that shot.
Next.
He has the next shot at the featherweight title.
John, he just dispatched the number.
It's there.
He just dispatched the number 2 guy.
What he did, but he's
in highlight reel fashion.
He's still not in position to get that title shot. No,
Yes,
he's not.
he is.
No, Arman Sarukian is.
Armin's already scheduled for that fight.
Hello, that's my whole point.
Yeah, that's fine.
He's scheduled for a featherweight title fight. He has one.
He doesn't need that fight. He could be.
Oh
he
my
would do
God.
better
He doesn't
for
need
himself.
a lightweight fight.
But what? Okay, so here, why put on all that weight at lightweight to turn around and go back down to 45 and kill yourself? May affect his performance at 145. And then if he loses down there with a weight class that he just put all the weight on properly, by the way.
Okay, let me ask you: are you saying that it's going to affect his performance?
It possibly could.
No.
Yes. You're telling me
this
guy walks at 180.
You're right.
Cutting to 145. Cutting to 145.
He's been doing it for how long?
No, but then he went up, so probably walking around 188, 187, somewhere in there. An extra 8 pounds is a lot.
He wasn't walking around any
How much
bigger.
weight have you cut in your career?
I've got a lot of
There
weight
you
and
go.
I hate it.
Yeah, John. That's my point is, though, is that, look, he is 32 is not old. He's been doing this a long time. Keeping that weight on would have been more beneficial to him, and fighting the winner of whether Sarukian or Islam would have done better for his career. Look, winning a possibility of winning a second title in a different weight class.
When you say better for his career,
yeah,
his career is absolutely stellar.
I agree with you.
Absolutely stellar. He doesn't have to do.
I didn't say it was a shitty career.
He doesn't have to fight one more time, and that man has an absolutely stellar career.
Yeah, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. I don't even know what that means in MMA, but
it doesn't matter if he fights one more time at lightweight, gets a championship in lightweight. Doesn't matter. He is.
Oh no, John, that does matter.
Oh no, it doesn't.
Having two belts,
no matter what,
makes a difference.
No matter what, Max Holloway will go down as one of the best MMA fighters.
That's not what I just said. I just said it will make a difference.
What
having two belts, actually 3, will make a difference. It will be even better. He will be the BMF title, and the way he won the BMF title plus the 145, he's arguably the greatest 145 pounder there. I say arguably because I still hold Jose though. Aldo there. Yeah, I agree. I think Jose there. But I mean, I'm not gonna. If someone put Max there, I'm not gonna argue with them. If
well, it's real simple. They're gonna say, "Well, Max has 2 wins over Aldo." So
yeah, but then they're gonna turn around and say Volk has 2 wins over 3 over. So, but I get what you're saying. I'm just looking at it in terms of him going back to 45 to fight somebody who beat Volkanovski. I get it, but he also beat Volkanovski coming off of a knockout in a short turnaround.
I agree with you.
That to me, like, there's no benefit to you going down there and fighting him. Winning the title, sure. But I'm saying that you can have a chance to win the lightweight title, the toughest division in the sport. There's nothing better than that.
There you go back with the toughest division in the sport.
We just had Jon Anik on. Tell Jon Anik he doesn't know what he's talking about. Tell Kenny Florian he doesn't know. Tell Dean Thomas.
I will tell Jon Anik when I talk to him. John, let's be honest. Right now,
it's the greatest weight class.
Hold on. I'm not saying, okay, when you say that as far as over the last decade, it has absolutely been the best.
Since they brought it back.
Okay, there you go. That's the whole point. That's why I said decade. Okay, over the last decade, it's been the best weight class there is. It has had the highest level of competition with a murderer's row of people in it. But let's be honest, right now, bantamweight and featherweight both match up very well.
Featherweight's not even close to us.
Oh my God.
There's like 3 or 4 guys in the featherweight division.
Are you kidding me? Have you lost your mind?
John,
you have lost your mind. Please.
I got them right here. The rankings.
Go ahead.
Okay.
I got you, Josh.
You got the rankings. Alexander Volkanovski. Okay.
No, you've got Ilya Topuria.
Volkanovski. Max Holloway.
Okay. 3 just
Diego Lopez.
There's 4.
That's it.
That's not it.
That's it. That's it. John, you just told me the other day that Brian Ortega was washed up and should go to 55. He's number 4.
That I said he was washed up.
He's ranked number 5.
You're absolutely a liar.
John.
That you say that I said that Brian Ortega is washed up.
John,
take your words back. You're lying.
I'll take them back.
You're like Kamala Harris right now.
You didn't say that. The bottom line is he's on his way out. So he's at number 5.
He's going
on his way out. He's going to lightweight. Okay. Which is what Max should do, by the way. And Yair Rodriguez is there as well. I'll put in there. But look, he hasn't got a win against Volk. He doesn't have a win against Max. He doesn't have a win against he hasn't fought Diego, but I think they actually train together. But then you have Evelev. So
Evelev's all he is an undefeated fighter.
Yeah, he is. But look, I agree with you. Look, they're good for 4 or 5
They're good.
positions. They're good for 4 or 5 positions.
Okay.
Okay. That's it. John, I can't even give you the history of the guys. Okay. Look, Sarukian's new into the lightweight division. Islam got 1 loss.
Okay, Islam is fantastic. I'm not going to
Sarukian's
say
got 2. Charles Oliveira, Sarukian's got 3, I think, from winning before UFC. Charles Oliveira doing what he's done at 45 and 55. Gaethje,
Okay.
Poirier, Hooker is made the 5.
Okay, but hold on. Stop right there. All right, because you got to be honest about things. Poirier is not even really in the equation right now. He's not. Because he's not looking for title fights. He's looking for legacy fights. He's looking for fights that excite him, if he can get those fights.
John, he just told Justin Gaethje, "I'll run it back with you."
He's looking for those legacy fights, like I said.
And there you go. That's the fight. Like what that one win against Gaethje, he's in the title fight.
That is not. There's no. Yes. No, he just had his title fight against Islam, and he is not going to get another one against him.
He will.
That is.
All right.
You are out of your mind.
Just for the record, I ran a poll during this debate right now, and
Josh is right.
And it's a 68-32 to John.
Shut your whore mouth. There is no way. They want people.
There is.
They want him to go to fight Emporia.
You're talking trash.
Man, you guys, Alejandro, he's back, my guy. What's up, brother? But look, let's be honest, man. It's better for his look. If those of you guys that say it's not better for his career to win a second world title in a different weight class, you guys are foolish. You're foolish. Every fighter is dreaming of being a 2-division champion. Every fighter.
I'm
not thinking about.
First off, I'm not saying that it would not
that's
be
what
good
you were
for
saying,
his
though,
career.
John.
No, excuse me. I said his career is not going to be any worse if he never gets that title because he is legendary as far as what he's done so far.
You're trying to sugarcoat that.
I am not trying to sugarcoat
the bottom
anything.
line is it would be
straight out.
It would
you
be
have
better.
lost your mind when you say that he should be sticking in the lightweights when he has a title fight at featherweight.
He's won. Well, he's basically going to
one away.
He doesn't fight again. He could be next after Sarukian.
One away.
No, I don't have to say that. I don't think he's one away. I don't think he needs to fight. Well, I think they would give him the fight if he waited for Sarukian to be done. I
can tell you right now, he's got a fight, and it's a championship fight.
Yeah, John. Yeah. He could also been the backup for Sarukian. Showed up, weighed in.
Backup.
Show up,
weigh in.
You act like all of a sudden we don't want to win a title. Everyone wants to be a backup, John. Let's be honest. let's be real. Every guy would like to be a backup. Only down to rank number 10 and 15. Go ahead, Dave. What do you got?
Alejandro's super chatting his way into the conversation here, asking, what do you guys think if Max KO Topuria in round 1 without taking any damage? Can he fight Armin for the number 1 spot?
No, because Armin and
Armin's already booked to fight.
They're kind of booked for MSG. I think it's in November or December.
November.
Yeah. So I think that's why he didn't do the PSA, because the PSA, he had to get it done by October, I think. He's like, why am I going to do that if I can't fight until November? He's like, I might as well, if we're not going to have the fight until November. If they were going to try to book it earlier, he would have done the PSA and got the title shot. But he didn't. They were like, no, we're not going to book you guys till November, December. So he's like, all right, cool. I think it's going to be at MSG. What I understand, which makes sense. I would rather see Max at the lightweight division. Give it a shot. You put the weight on properly to beat Justin Gaethje. He looked fantastic. I completely didn't. I had to put my foot in my mouth, man. I had to basically say,
again.
Yeah, you were kind of right there with me.
You lying son of a bitch. You're going to tell me that I did
we
not
were
pick,
both
stop,
scared of the fact that he was
right
it was
now,
not a good fight for him.
You lying son of a bitch. You need to go back and look because I picked Max Holloway to win.
Picking him like the day before after months of us talking about it was a bad fight for him.
You are unbelievable. You can't tell.
John.
Listen, Kamala, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you're just getting confused here and you want to put out your lies.
Yeah,
but
geez.
You know that I picked Max Holloway. I was one of the ones that said I thought that his style was going to give Justin problem. And you said that no, Justin had too much power.
Yeah, I thought he'd be able to walk him down. Yeah, but Max fought a great fight. Max fought a fantastic. I think why not keep making that challenge? Why not stay there? Anyways, John, we're going to go round and round over this, all night long because I really believe every champ right now, if you're not a 2-division champion, you're like, oh, you're just a champion.
There's no way in the world that anyone's going to sit there and say a champion in MMA in a weight class would not like to be a 2-division champion. Of course they would. Of course they would.
That's my point. My point is
It's
why
not
not do
your
it
point.
now while you're 32
Your
years old?
point is that he should have waited instead of taking a championship fight against Ilia Topuria, and that's where
Do you
you're
not
wrong.
remember how long it took for how much time he had off after his last fight to get himself up to fight that weight against Justin Gaethje? And then now he's going to take himself back down now, which that may affect his performance against Topuria. It possibly could. Tell me I'm wrong. You said earlier that I was wrong. He's been doing it for his whole career. I think it could potentially hurt
I've
his
been
career.
saying that he has been walking around at 175 to 180 pounds and cutting to 145 his entire career.
Maybe a little higher.
Back when I reffed his fight against Jose Aldo, he walked in that night at 178 pounds. Yeah. They put him on the scale.
Donnie does just dishes. He agrees with me. Whoever Donnie does dishes, he agrees with me too. I agree.
That's why he's doing dishes. His IQ is not that high.
The fans say 58 to 42 that Max should go to 55.
Yeah, see? Should go to 55. Look, my thought is I get what you're saying. I completely understand. Why not take the automatic title shot?
Absolutely.
Let's just be real. I know we were having the banter back and forth, but just speak calmly and be 100% real about it. Going back, my concern is him going back down after putting the weight on properly.
I totally understand that
such a performance, and then and then potentially not fighting the way he would normally fight had he just stayed at 45. I get it. I just don't want him to take that chance, knowing he just had such a stellar performance at 55. If he loses to Topuria, there is no 55 for him again, unless he puts all the weight back on over 6 months, maybe even longer, and then he has to fight one of those guys that are there. That's a fucking dog.
But if he does beat Topuria, then that lightweight fight is sitting right there for him waiting.
No, I agree. I wish it would be, but then now Michael Chandler says, no, if I beat Charles Oliveira, I'm getting the next title shot. So he must have been told that. At some point, he must have been told that. Now, everyone that I've talked to behind the scenes that's dealing with that situation has said that they are taking care of Chandler because he was so patient during the Conor situation. They were hoping that fight would come. The UFC wanted that fight to really happen, and Chandler kept holding out, kept being patient, kept being a company man. And so they're turning around going, hey, you need to figure it out. Max now at the Sphere, or you have Charles Oliveira. I believe that he took the Charles Oliveira fight. I don't care what he says, because there was moments in that fight where he felt like had he fought a little bit smarter, which he never does, that he could have beat Charles Oliveira.
Sure.
Max Holloway, he saw the performance that he put on against Justin Gaethje, and he's like, shit, I may not be able to beat that guy. And there goes my title shot. And I'm not getting another run at it. He's had the title shots. He's not getting another shot at it. If you win, you lose again, you're basically a gatekeeper. And so I think what he did was he took the Charles Oliveira fight. He knows he can touch his chin. He knows he can dent the chin a little bit, sit him to his butt. Then he just got to fight smart.
Yeah,
I don't think he can.
This is the guy that finished him.
I understand that, but he had Charles hurt.
Yeah, and then Charles hurt him.
Yeah, I get it. But
it's real simple. You can sit there and everyone say whatever they want. And I'm not saying Michael Chandler is not a great fighter and doesn't have a chance of beating Charles Oliveira, but he's older than Charles Oliveira. Okay, he's been out of the game now for 2 years.
Yeah.
Now he's always in shape, but it's different as far as training than it is in being live against someone like Oliveira. So he has lost a step. Yeah. And now he's going to go back and try to beat the guy that already beat him.
Yeah, 2 years later.
That's great.
Yeah. I think it's great that he's going to try and do it. It's going to be a tough fight for him. I agree. It was a tough fight the first time. When I think he was taking a look at,
not an easy task.
No, it's not. It's not. And he's been out of the game for 2 years. Now
that's
coming
my whole point.
Coming back and trying to get this win against him. I think, like I said, I think he saw that he was able to touch Charles. I think that he saw that Justin Gaethje wasn't able to touch Max. It's like, shit, how am I going to touch him?
I'll tell you right now, Max Holloway is not a good fight for Michael Chandler.
He's not. He's a horrible
Max
fight
Holloway is at this point, and this is why I said, when he was going to fight Justin Gaethje. Look, if there's nights when Max Holloway's footwork and his ability to control distance is so good.
Yeah.
That, man, if you catch him on that night, you're in trouble. And that's what happened with Justin.
Yeah.
Okay. That's exactly what happened with Justin. Well, that might happen again for, Chandler, if he goes up against him, and you just look and you go, Chandler has turned into a brawler. He's a guy that goes out there. He slings big shots. He's got power. He can hit. I'm not saying that Michael Chandler can't hit. He's got power. And if he touches you, he can put you down.
Yeah.
But you got to touch him. And it's not easy.
Nope.
To be touching Max Holloway.
Nope. Cody Carden. I didn't know you guys were doing live shows. Yes, we're doing these on Tuesday nights. Now that Podcast Dave is available, and he's back from his honeymoon and his wedding and his vacation time and all the other shit you can add on.
Creating all kinds of new babies.
Yeah.
And a baby, Dave.
and eventually we knew his money would run out and he'd come back. So he's dead broke now, and so we're back to doing shows, live shows on Tuesday nights. That's the plan right now, to continue to do these, and then make sure you guys are subscribing to our podcast. I want to thank you guys so much. We have a $4.99 membership and a $1.99 membership, and I want to make sure you guys get us up in the live chats, and what do they call super chats? And hit us up if you guys want questions answered, and that's what we're here for, man. Tuesday nights is your chance and opportunities for you guys to connect with us as much as we possibly can on Tuesday night. So I want to thank you guys so much, man. Dave, what else you got for us, buddy?
Well, I'm seeing all the Herb comments roll in. I'm assuming that's to do with follow-up they won from the weekend. I know John has some thoughts there.
Go for it, John.
Hold on. Say that one more time for me, please.
The Herb Dean stuff from the main event.
Okay.
He stopped the action, I believe, in round one, right when Merab
right at the beginning.
Yeah.
Right at the beginning. Okay, but why?
Because Sugar Sean's corner started trying to coach.
Tim Welch started calling out Merab's name, saying, Merab, look out for Merab. You need to. He cannot do that. That is against the
I have
rules.
a question. Why?
Yeah. It's called corner interference. It's one of the fouls in MMA, and you're going to take a look and say, the trainer of Sugar Sean O'Malley is allowed to talk the entire time to Sugar Sean. He cannot speak to the opponent.
John, in this country we have the First Amendment right. I can say whatever the fuck I want.
And there's this thing called rules in a sport, and it takes all of that away, because when you get that license, you're saying that you're going to absolutely be in line with those rules. And Tim Welch has stepped outside of that line multiple times now, and I like Tim. I'm taking nothing from him. I always say, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. Well, he's cheating. Yeah. And Herb was right, except Herb should have gone over and say one more word to him, and I'm going to have that inspector escort you out of here during this fight. So you want to do that for your fighter? Continue on with what you're doing. Okay.
I thought it was great that Herb did his job. It's the first time I've seen him do his job. But I thought he did a great job.
That was the right thing to do.
He nipped it in the bud right away. And he was like, look, we're not doing this. I didn't like the way that he kind of berated Merab. Merab's out there to fight. Yeah, he shouldn't have said that. He shouldn't have been so direct towards Merab. Like, I'm not going to do this with you. No. I'm going to do it with the corner. The corner should have been one going, hey,
I agree.
We're not doing this. Leave the fighter alone because you're interfering with the fight. I understand that.
Yeah.
Look,
the
Herb's
other part,
a fantastic referee.
The other part of it was, the people complained about Herb saying work while they're in the stand-up. But what he's doing is Merab at certain points is circling. Now he's allowed to circle, but I heard people saying, well, he's coaching. He's coaching Sugar Sean. If saying the word work is coaching someone, wow, that's some seriously good coaching, man. Come on. What he's trying to do is tell Merab, hey, I need you to engage at a certain point, so I don't have it to where someone says that you were, this was timidity. Okay, so all he's telling him is, hey, let's work. Okay, meaning you got to engage at some point. He's not going to do anything off of it, but it shows that he's telling the fighter. So now Herb has someone to, he's got to go, be accounted for by in the executive director of the Nevada State Athletic Commission. That's Jeff Mullen. And so he's got bosses too. And they're going to ask him, hey, do you think maybe you should have told them to, they should have, you're running too much or anything like that. So that's why Herb is now saying, hey, let's work. Now, just because Joe Rogan and John Anik pick it up on the thing and they start, I don't like that. Good, you don't like it. But there's a reason behind it.
I mean, look, if it's in the rules, it's in the rules. I mean, it doesn't matter what I say or what anybody else says. Like, it's in the damn rules.
It is.
You know, you break the rules. I feel like there should be consequences, but there should obviously be, like in this situation,
well,
one opportunity to say, hey, stop.
Okay, let's go back, because this, in fact, I will tell you, I talked to Herb 2 days before the fight.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And one of the things that we talked about and we were going over was your friend, Jacqueline, who had the fight with Dimopoulos.
Yeah.
And got the armbar win, but she cheated.
Jackie Amarin. Yeah.
Yeah, she cheated.
She did.
She absolutely cheated.
I didn't see it, John. I didn't get there
okay. And what she did is she used DePoulis's glove. She grabbed the inside of the glove to control the arm, which Dimopoulos was going to come up on top. And she was unable to do that based upon having that. And it actually threw her into an armbar situation. She ends up tapping out. But Jacqueline got a win off of a foul. You can't have that. Herb wasn't the referee, but we went over the whole thing. And if you go back to the Sugar Sean Merab fight, Sugar Sean did the same thing. He grabbed inside the glove, and you see Herb right away. Boom! Stop! Don't you can't grab inside the glove. And it was the exact thing that we had talked about. Hey, you've got to nip that in the bud, or if you end up getting basically a finish, you get the person tapping out, like what happened with Jacqueline. Look at that fight, depending upon where it's at, it's going to go to a technical decision or it's going to be a no contest. I cannot give the win to, if Sugar Sean had gotten that armbar on Merab, I can't give him the win off of a foul.
Can she contest that in the commission, and the video footage will show? And then we know commissions, they don't do shit.
She can, but the problem is, they're in Nevada, they use what's called an RO. That is a replay official. Okay. And that replay official was supposed to give the information to the official that was in the cage of, hey, this is what I see. It's on tape. This is your options. This is what you can do. Knowing that here you can go through, step 1, you can do step 2, or you can do step 3. And you give them all that information and you let them make their choice. And from what I was told, that didn't really happen. And that was a mistake on that replay official, as far as he didn't give the person the right information and help them out the way it should have been done.
If anyone knows better than anyone, the fucking replay officials and the sideline judges and shit, they don't do shit. John walks over and goes, hey, was that a headbutt? No, it was a punch.
Oh, dude, he did.
Same thing, right? Like, with the hands in the glove. When I fought Pat Healy, I got the rear naked choke, but I grabbed inside my own glove and pulled it tight. And everyone was screaming online, man, he's cheating. He cheated. Grabbed inside the glove. That's my own glove, dude.
You can grab inside of your own glove. You cannot.
Can you grab your own pants?
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. I wasn't sure about that.
Yep.
I wasn't sure if you could grab like in your own pants. Grab your own clothes.
George St. Pierre going against your teammate Josh Koscheck the first time they fought. I did that fight, and George goes to put a Kimura on Josh, and he had it. And Josh is grabbing his own shorts to keep his arm from coming out, right? And George is looking up at me, says, he is grabbing his shorts. And I go, yes, he is. Yeah, and he can do that, right?
I mean, it makes sense. I mean, I would have never have thought to complain about it, if someone was doing it. But yeah, that's hilarious, man. Dave, what else you got?
6% of our fans side with Aberdeen, by the way. Alejandro, just real quick before we move on to the next one, Alejandro's got another super chat in there. 20th super chat. Thanks, Alejandro. He said, Javier said he doesn't think Islam can make UFC 308. Armin versus Max after he TKOs Tapuria. Thoughts on Max Conor for the BMF belt so Conor can get a third belt? I think that's the question in there.
Okay. Well, if you're going to ask now, if you're going to ask as far as Conor versus Max for the BMF belt, is that what you're talking about?
That's what he's asking, yeah.
Look, they're at different levels in their careers right now. People, you need to understand, you're either in one direction or another. You're either moving up and getting better as you continue to train and be in training and hit the gym multiple times a day and do the things that you're supposed to be doing. And then you become a businessman. And when you're the businessman, that's fine. I have no complaints about it. But when you're not hitting the gym as many times as you used to, and now you're skipping training at times and you're doing other things because there's business involved and you need to be places, while you're not training, other people are. They're getting better while you are not only not getting better, you're actually declining. Conor has been phenomenal for the sport. He was a great fighter. He brought so many eyeballs. I love everything about him. But if you're going to put him where he was, he's not there. He has fallen. And it's clear by his performances that you've seen. Take a look at his record. His only win out of his last how many fights is his fight with Donald Cerrone. Yes, he looked good in that one. But Donald was a fighter on the decline. Okay, when he fights somebody like a Max Holloway, who is not declining, he is still getting better as a fighter. Their roads have changed. They faced off early on, and Conor was able to get the win. Max was a very young, tough kid, but not super skilled like he is now. They're on different plateaus.
Yeah.
If you're thinking that Conor McGregor can come in and beat Max Holloway, you are losing it.
I don't think that was the question. I think it was more like they want to see that fight for the BMF title, and give Conor
a
chance
third one, third title. That ain't happening, man.
He ain't gonna get it. I agree with you. Yeah, I do agree with you. It's the decline. But hey, before we move on with anything else, so Dave, we've got an announcement to make, and I know we've talked about it as of recently, but we've got a video to show you guys real quick. Those of you guys that followed us for all of last year and then now this, but Dave's going to go ahead and pull this video up. This is a huge announcement for us, and we have decided to rejoin with our friends over at OnlyFans, and it's going to be a great another year of action-packed stuff going on over there on that platform. Please, you guys, follow us over there. Subscribe to us over there. It is free. We provide content on that. I do live chats over there myself. John does them too, and we'll try and do them together as much as we possibly can. But looking forward to spending some more time on that platform. A lot of people are on that platform that you guys follow. So go ahead and check this out. We got this video for you.
Here we go, guys.
I got some good news, ladies and gentlemen.
Our podcast, Weighing In, was the first podcast to ever partner with OnlyFans,
bringing you guys the best content we possibly can in the combat sports industry. We are making some leeway on bringing sports to the OnlyFans platform,
where top-tier, world-class athletes can connect with their fans. We're talking about combat sports athletes like Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson, Chris Cyborg,
Luke Rockhold,
AJ McKee.
You've also got pro surfers like Billy Kemper. Some chilling news.
I want you to head on over to the Weighing In OnlyFans channel.
More connection with our fans on our OnlyFans channel.
Only available on OnlyFans.
It was good that we gave some different
We're
looks.
back. We're back on, guys.
What's up? I hope
What
you
is
enjoyed
going
that ad. That was the brainchild of my man Josh Thompson and put together beautifully by Podcast Dave. So thank you very much.
Brainchild. I've never been called that.
Brainchild.
But hey, guys, make sure you guys subscribe to us there. Like I said, we're going to be doing some extra content over there. Not just extra stuff, but this time around for the next, at least, for this time being, we're going to be having some fun on that platform. Like I said, it's making it a lot easier when you've got people like DJ on there, Demetrius Johnson, Nick Diaz, Luke Rockhold, AJ McKee. You've got surfers on there like Billy Kemper. I know Andy Ruiz is on there, the pro boxer. I mean, you've got Chris Cyborg on there. There's a lot of content on there that can be provided for people, not just talking about, the schmut and all the other stuff. But look, we're there to put on content that has shaped around this sport. They're really making a surge into the sports industry, Formula One racing, surfing, MMA, boxing. There's sports on that platform, and if you guys don't follow the smut on there, then you don't have to worry about it coming up on your time.
They don't have an algorithm that's just going to force that stuff on you. If you don't look it up, you will never have it on your feed.
Yep. So anyways, it's going to be great for us to be on there, and creating more content for you guys. So head on over there, subscribe to us. It is free. Dave, you got some more stuff for us, buddy.
Yeah, let's talk about this. We've got the re-announcement of Jon Jones versus Stipe. And this time John has kind of alluded to, or maybe even confirmed that this is it for
He
him.
has said
So
it.
I'd love to get you guys' thoughts on this.
I think it's time.
I'm being honest. I look at this fight, and this is one of those ones that I look and I go, it's not that Stipe has been a remarkable fighter, but he is getting older. John is obviously getting older. He's now the heavyweight. I understand why he would like to fight Stipe. It makes sense to me, but it's not one of those ones that personally, I think that, when people go, I have to see that. But I will say this, the UFC is now starting to put some incredible fights on that card. So it's making it to where you go, oh, that's going to be an incredible night in New York. And then it's topped by Jones and Miocic. So way to go.
Who's on the card? Do we know who's on the card?
Yeah, you just talked about one of them right there before. Take a look at you. You got Michael Chandler taking on Oliveira.
Okay.
Right? And then there was another one that was announced that is the
Bo Nickel and Paul Craig.
Bo Nickel and Paul.
What a guy.
Dude, I'm just telling you right now. I'm sorry, Dave, but that's not a good fight for Paul Craig.
Dave's hero is going to go down.
I know.
It's not a good fight for him, but Bo Nickel can make a mistake. Jamal Hill made a mistake. So we can see that happen. We can definitely see that happen. Who else is on that card?
There was another fight that you were talking about that you were saying it was going to be on that New York card.
Yeah, it's supposed to be Islam and Sarukian, but he just said that Sarukian that fight may be done. Something's going on. Islam won't be able to fight because of his wrist until next year.
Man, I'll tell you what.
That's the case.
If that fight is on that card, that is an incredible card.
Chris Weidman and Eric Anders got announced today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
And then who are the others? Go ahead and
Jonathan Martinez and Marcus McGee.
that should be a good fight.
Yeah,
Martinez is good, man.
He is, but so's McGee, man.
Yeah,
he's fun to watch. He is a fireball, man. He is strong. He's got good stand up. He's fun to watch. That's a great matchup.
What's the female fight? Hardy and who?
Eduarda Mamura.
Okay. Hey, I have a question. I was watching a little clip today from the Anik and Florian. They call one of the guests that they had on Anik and Florian. They called her Dumont.
Norma?
They called her Big Doom, Big Dorm. They called her like Big. Anyways, Big Dorma. It was like Big Dorma, I think it was. What
Big Dorma?
Can you pull it up on there?
Norma Dumont, man. I tell you what,
she can fight.
She can fight. She is
really
good.
Damn good. I never gave her the respect she deserves. And I saw her fight last week.
Damn
like,
pretty too.
Cow.
And boy, she did a number on poor Aldana, man. Have you seen the stitch work on her?
Yeah, I did. Her face looked like, whew.
Yep.
Man, her face was tore up. Let me see the Norma Dumont clip. They had it. It was so
DraftKings, isn't it?
Oh, is it? Yeah. But they had a clip, man. It was hilarious. I couldn't stop laughing. No, I couldn't stop laughing. Anyways, it was a Norma Dumont clip. It was, there you go. Big Norm. They called her Big Norm, Big Norma Dumont. But it was let me see if I can play it again here. Let me turn this volume.
Dude, she's all cut down at bantamweight now.
Yeah.
UFC 244. Patriot. Who do you love? Yeah, Big Norm. Norm, not Big Norm. She just wins fights. You know what I mean?
Dude, they are busting up.
Who is that?
And I don't know who the guy is. But
she's gonna love that, bro.
Big Norm
weighs 135 pounds. She's big for the division.
She's big for the division. Big Norm. And then Anik goes on the show and goes, yo, let's give it up for Big Norm.
Man, I'll tell you what.
What the?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. That was hilarious, man. It was just a short little clip they put on social, but it was hilarious. And just watch their face and their reaction when he said Big Norm. They both just fell out of the screens laughing. It was great, man. Anyways. Sorry, I got sidetracked, guys. So
Jon Jones taking on Stipe. Look, Jon has come out saying this is his last fight. And I know there's all kinds of people out there saying this whole thing about if Jon doesn't fight Aspinall, it's going to put
No, it
a
doesn't.
mark on his career that is going to affect it. That's impossible. Okay, if he wants to call it at this point, that's his choice. You know, does it put an asterisk? No. He's just, you know, I'm being honest when I say
the Dick
look,
Pills puts an asterisk next to his name. The Dick
well,
Pills do.
there's a lot of things that you want to, if you want to say put an asterisk, but the fact that he's going to retire, that's his choice, and there's nothing wrong with it. He's got plenty of money. God bless him. You know what? Have fun in retirement. But the whole point is, I do think that Jon could be talked into that fight. I do think he could be talked into that fight. Jon believes in himself. There's no doubt. Jon absolutely believes, no matter what, I can beat that guy. And it's just a matter of how many zeros are on the check that will make Jon decide, yeah, I'll do it or not. But if he wants to retire, I don't think it affects his career in any fashion at all.
I don't think that he should take that fight.
I don't either. I'm
being
honest.
And not to knock him at all, I have no desire to see him fight Stipe. I honestly, I think I will continue to say this, even though he's, you know, fought DC and he's fought, you know, fought my friend and this and that, like, and it just the controversy back and forth. I still will say he's the best probably fighter that's ever stepped foot in there. I mean, I'm in that GSP kind of thing. You know, I still am the GSP guy, but
I love GSP, and you know, I did the whole thing with the, you know, the whole Mount Rushmore thing came up again, and I look at it different. If you want to say best fighters for Mount Rushmore, the best fighters that ever, well, Jon Jones is on it. If you're going to say, give me an MMA Mount Rushmore, the criteria for it is different than just best fighter. And there's things that, you know, have been done in the past that I go, no, I can't put you on that.
Oh,
you know, no, let's just be honest. Let's just be honest. You know,
it's stirring up some controversy right now.
There's no controversy at all. Being the best fighter that has ever stepped into a cage is absolutely something I can say about Jon Jones.
Yeah, people need to remember when we were talking about Mount Rushmore, right? You're just talking about old white guys. So that's no, let's not forget, like, those guys, when they wrote the Declaration and stuff like that, they were all young. They were like in their 20s. So the pictures we have of them of being in their 50s and 80s or whatever it was, we thought they were. They were not. They were still young back then. But look, I think honestly, if I'm gonna go with best fighters, Jon's up there for sure. There's no doubt. Probably number one. GSP, then Habib, and then I know that Dana just came out and put Ronda on there, and I was like, but okay,
see now I'll put Ronda on my Mount Rushmore of people that had the greatest effect on MMA. Ronda's one of them, because for women, you take a look at when she came into the UFC. You know, look, she was in Strikeforce and everything, and when she was doing great, but when she came into the UFC and what she did, how she did it. And I'm not saying she was perfect. She had sportsmanship issues, if you want to say that, you know, things that, you know, I didn't look at and say, you know, that's not the way you should be acting as far as, you know, opponents. But, you know, that's her business. And I'm not going to say anything on it. I saw more women come towards the sport of MMA based upon Ronda Rousey. I saw little girls dressing up like Ronda Rousey, wanting to be Ronda Rousey. She brought an entire generation with her into the sport that no other woman has ever had that same effect. And so she absolutely deserves that.
We got Uncanny Suit 97. I never thought about GSP avenging his losses by finishes goes a long way for sure.
Sure,
I never thought about it that way.
Sure does.
That's
part of why GSP's on my Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
Based upon his performances, the way that he conducted himself as a fighter throughout his career, what he did for the sport and bringing Canada. Look, you want to talk about a difference. Canada was huge with MMA. And when he'd retired, what happened?
It fell off
big time.
Well, you know, then they brought in Justin Trudeau, and then the rest of it's downhill from there. Okay,
but you're looking, George St. Pierre had an immense impact on the sport of MMA.
Yeah.
And yes, the two losses that he had, you know, he avenged those. And so he absolutely is a person. He's on my list. You know, you can't have it without Royce Gracie. Now, Royce is not one of the greatest fighters of all time. Okay, can't even come close.
Yeah.
But as far as impact in the sport and setting the stage for everyone else,
Yeah.
he's got to be there.
Yeah, I mean, like we go back, you watch the first tennis players using the rickety wooden rackets and that type of stuff. The first golfers,
Yeah.
all of those things. Yeah, those guys would get smashed now.
Yes.
You know, they get smashed now. The new technology, and plus not just that, just how people are reading the greens, and anyways, all this other stuff. But someone who said that, Jake Koch, he has Jon Jones, Fedor, Royce, and GSP. That's a pretty good Mount Rushmore.
Okay, his is my Mount Rushmore, except I replaced Jon Jones with Ronda Rousey based upon, what they've brought to the sport. Now that, and I take a look at, outside of the sport, Jon hasn't been the greatest ambassador for the sport. He's had more controversy than I can give him.
So you don't have Conor on there then?
No, and that's based upon the exact same reason as Jon Jones. Conor brought an incredible amount of eyes to the sport, but he also brought some bad publicity for the sport. He did things that you look at and you go, I can't have you hitting an old man in a goddamn pub because he won't drink your freaking whiskey. It's just,
John,
it's crazy.
The first thing you learn in marketing school is any press is good press.
Yeah, well, guess what? It's good press until you're supposed to be on my Mount Rushmore. It's my Mount Rushmore, and that's why he's not on it. But look does he deserve it as far as what he brought? As far as eyeballs, absolutely he does. Mm-hmm. I just don't put him there because of the outside issues.
Hey guys, we're running up on some time, so go ahead and drop a question or two in there if you guys have questions. And Dave, what else you got for us?
Yeah, let's hop into. I wanted to look at the bantamweight division after this past weekend. Obviously, quite a shake up there after Merab won the title. Get you guys' take based on Umar sitting there at number 2. Sean O'Malley obviously just losing the title. Who do you see being that solid next contender? And
there's no doubt who the next contender is. That's Umar.
Well, but do you do the rematch though? I mean, people.
No, there's no rematch there. Sean, how many fights did Sugar Sean win as the bantamweight champion? One fight. One fight does not get you the ability to get an automatic rematch. There's just no way. As much as the UFC likes him, as much as fans like him and stuff, he does not deserve that. Umar Nurmagomedov has an undefeated record. Look, Sugar Sean kept on saying he was undefeated. We all know that wasn't true. Chito Vera beat him, earlier on. He came back and he avenged that loss with his one title defense against Chito Vera. Then he comes in against Merab, and Merab, look, for the most part, that wasn't even close. Merab just basically dictated where the fight was going to be and did what he was supposed to do to get the win. Umar Nurmagomedov is undefeated. He has gone through every opponent they've put in front of him. He made Corey Sandhagen look, like an average fighter at times when we know how good Corey really is. He has proven himself to be a guy that deserves that shot at the title, and he should get it next.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt that he's getting the next shot. I think Merab is already kind of understanding that he's getting it, so he's trying to talk himself out of it. I think so-and-so should fight.
That right there tells me that Merab is a smart man.
Yes.
He learned a lot.
Well, his take was that he thinks that Umar should have to fight Peter Yan, or he should have to fight somebody else. And I mean, to me, it doesn't make sense. I know we talked about this. I'm really looking forward to seeing the Sugar Sean and the Corey Sandhagen fight.
That would be a great fight.
But then Sugar came out yesterday on his podcast and said, basically, I'm going to take about 9 months to a year off. I understand that, but he's somebody that doesn't tell me that he can sit still. So I think within like a 6-month period, maybe about 4, I'd say about 4 months, he'll be like, look, I got to get back in there, man. There's gonna be a lot of big fights coming up around that January, February, which would kind of make sense. He'll take 3 months off, get himself back into shape around, in a month. And then after that, he'll go into a camp, get him ready for around end of January or February. I can't see him sitting out that long. He doesn't come across to me as somebody that can just sit at home and do nothing. I mean, he's either training or making babies or doing something, man. He's got to be doing something. Yeah, doing podcasts. He seems like a very busy person, always trying to grow his brand, doing a good job of it too.
No doubt about that.
But Umar Nurmagomedov fighting Merab, that'll probably happen unless Umar finds a way out of that situation. But I feel like
hold it. Why would Umar?
Not Umar,
find a way
sorry,
out?
Merab. If
Merab,
Merab
okay,
finds a
thank
way
you.
out of that situation.
Okay.
I feel like that there is something that has been said or done because, when they come into Vegas, right? Umar will go to Extreme Couture. He'll go to other locations and they'll train, they'll grapple, they'll do all these things. I think there's a little word, and they must have trained together. They must know each other. I think the understanding of like, nah, I don't really want to fight him right now.
Let's be honest. Okay. They have been in the same mat together.
Yeah.
Okay. Patchy Mix, who is the Bellator bantamweight champion, trains with both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so, let's be honest. They all know exactly where they stand. And right now, if there's the one thing that I will tell you, and just plain out, Patchy Mix will tell you his best training partner ever, the guy that is the hardest for him to work with, is who? Umar Nurmagomedov.
Yeah.
Okay.
But look, that being said, it's a fight, John.
Oh, no. I'm not saying that means that Merab can't win that fight. Merab has brought a specific style of wrestling back. Wrestling had its, like every style. Jiu-jitsu has its moments, and wrestling has its moments, and striking has its moments. Then back with jiu-jitsu styles, someone comes in, and there's always this difference, of the flow of what's hot in MMA at the time. Well, Merab has brought his style of wrestling along with the Nurmagomedovs as far as Khabib. Now, Umar's a little bit different. He's got a really solid stand-up game, and he does a lot of spinning attacks, and he's really good on his feet. But he's a better fighter on his feet than Merab. I would say that Merab, although there's going to be people that, say that Merab might be a little bit better in the wrestling department than Umar, but it's close.
Yeah.
It's damn close. But Merab has done the one thing that we talk about all the time. He has weaponized his cardio and made it to where he's going to push you to a pace that makes you have problems.
Yeah, I think that Umar will be fine there. Where I will be a little bit concerned, where I do get a little concerned, and I've noticed the huge uptick in his physical attributes in Umar, is Sean came out and said, "Man, Merab was super strong." You can see it. You can see it, but John, sometimes you see guys that are ripped like that, and they're not freakishly strong. They just look the part. Yeah. I've grappled with guys like that. I've wrestled guys like that in college. I've wrestled guys like that in high school. They were ripped and shredded. Then you really grab and you're like, oh, you're not that strong. Yeah. And I wasn't sure, because he seems like he has a hard time too, sometimes holding some of these fighters down. I'm like, if you're physically that strong, then you'll be able to hold them down better. But maybe he just doesn't use his energy to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
It goes with the flow of it, lets him get up, Matt returns him, lets him get up, Matt returns, then start wearing on their gas tank. Umar's gas tank will be there. That's not what I'm concerned with. Umar's strength is where I think there may be a little bit of a discrepancy where Merab may be the stronger fighter.
Okay.
So Umar's going to have to offset that with his technique, which I think he is technically going to be the better wrestler. When it comes to the scrambles and it comes to the technique of wrestling, Merab is the bulldozer. He's the guy that's going to blast W, try and just maul you around. Umar is going to use his technique to escape, can use his technique to stuff takedowns and avoid takedowns and hit scrambles and positions that Merab just probably won't be used to. He's going to defend him with proper technique when it comes to the wrestling. And on the feet, I don't think there's any comparison.
No, there'll
be no comparison.
But it is that one thing, Merab all the time. If you got to say this about Merab, he's fun and he's a likable guy.
Yeah, he is.
There's no way for you not to like this guy because he is just about, having fun, being, kind of funny, being a good guy. And so he's easy to cheer for. But I do think exactly like you, on the feet, there's a noticeable difference in their styles, in their abilities. And Merab's going to have to go back to doing exactly what he did against Sean O'Malley. He's going to have to be the guy in control of taking the fight to the ground when he wants and being able to put it there.
Donnie does dishes. There's their farm boy strength, and then there's like kids that did gymnastics strength. It's very true though. Kids that do gymnastics, man, are freakishly strong.
So are farm boys.
Yeah, and so are farm boys. I've always said though too. There's the there's the ginger strength. Those fire crotch redheaded guys. They're so damn strong.
Well, this is where I always look at it and I try to explain to people there's weightlifting strength, and then there's body movement strength. And body movement strength is what feels strong when it comes to fighting and grappling. Those are the people that their cores are so strong. You could be weightlifting strength, be able to lift a lot, deadlift a lot, squat a lot, but your core is strong, but it's not that crazy strong where you're able to, hold yourself out in positions off of a pole or something like that. Look at that's what gymnastics and that kind of things will do for you as far as strength. And that's kind of what the farm strength is. When someone grabs a hold of you that has that strength, you go, whoa, this is different.
Well, look, if Merab and Umar are going to be fighting next, Sean O'Malley's going to take some time off. You've got Peter Yan kind of lingering around right there. I'd like to see him and Davison Figueiredo. Corey's kind of the one left on the outskirts. You could potentially see him fight Henry Cejudo, but I do know that Henry called out Sean O'Malley. Like, I want that fight. Let's go. You were talking trash to me about how I got taken down. Well, obviously you got taken down and dominated too. So, I mean, if you look at the two fights, Henry did really well against Merab. It was a scrap back and forth.
It's a good fight back and forth. He got tired.
Good fight. Yeah, he got tired. He did. Yeah,
that was the difference maker in it.
But Henry's going to be able to take Sean down I wouldn't say pretty easily, but he's going to be able to take him down.
Yeah.
He's going to be able to get in. And the thing is, the difference will be Henry doesn't get all jittery and all herky-jerky like Merab does.
No.
That's what really
he does it in a smoother fashion.
He does, which potentially can be his downfall against someone like Sean O'Malley. Merab is that Keith Jardine, herky jerky, and it's hard to predict when they're gonna come in, close the distance, and do that.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I think there's a lot of fights to be made there, but I mean, realistically, once you get past the Davison Figueiredo and Henry, you're kind of replaying some fights, and Jose Aldo making a run back. I'm looking forward to seeing him fight as well. I mean, who could we see him fight? What about a Jose Aldo and a Henry Cejudo?
It'd be fantastic. I would love to see that fight, because if Sean O'Malley is taking time off, which is fine. Hey, I understand why. And this is what, when we try to explain to people, when you're the champion, there's a lot of requirements made of you, and, being on the road and doing things, it's not easy. It's tiring. It breaks you down. And so I understand why he wants that break. And so if he's going to have that break, I don't think it's smart for Henry to sit on the sideline. He should be looking for fights, getting more time in the octagon. So I think that is a great matchup if you're going to talk about it.
Yeah, because Aldo's got some of the best takedown defense in the game, man.
Absolutely.
That guy does, and his ability to get back up to his feet when he does is very good. And then on the feet, I mean, I don't know if he's going to kick, but when he does, it changes the way the fight turns out.
Sure.
It changes the dynamic of what his opponent can do. And, and the way that Henry has a wide stance in his kickboxing or his stand-up, that could feed right into those calf kicks. So there's a lot to be said there. Plus, honestly, Henry's a 2-division champion. Aldo is just the 45-pound champ. But he's done so much over his career. He's still young. He's not old. What is he? 34? 35. It's crazy. I'm like, when he walked away, I was like, maybe a little bit too early, but he's been doing it for so long at such a high level. We've underestimated his.
And that's, you take a look, and that's how long he's done it. Championship rounds. That's what you got to look at with Jon Jones, and go look at how many 5-round championship fights that man has had against quality opponents.
John wouldn't even know what it's like to train for a 3-round fight.
I don't think so.
Jon Jones. He doesn't even know what it's like. Dave, what else you got for us, buddy?
Before we wrap, anything you want to say? Any comments on Benson Henderson's venture into boxing?
I know that he's working on a couple little deals on the side to sign. I thought that was a good fight. He fought Avila. Yeah, Chris Avila. He fought Chris Avila, beat him. I didn't see the fight, but Benson and I've been texting back and forth. I'm going to be heading out there to his gym just to kind of catch up with him, kind of get to know the lab. And I've never walked into the facility, and a lot of good fighters come out of there. He's
great coach, and John Crouch.
Great coaching, John Crouch. Great person too. Benson's an all-around great guy, man.
Yes,
I truly, every time I talk to him, he's just a pleasure to be around. He's a good person, good human being. His wife is absolutely adorable. Kids are so cute, man. Adorable kids. So he's got a lot of them. So
Yes.
it's
4?
it's 4. He finally got his girl. I think that was what the holdup was. So they were waiting for a girl. But yeah, anyways, look, congratulations to him and looking forward to seeing him continue on. I mean, good for him, man. Look, to change sports after you've been doing something for so long, it's very difficult to change anything. When you get done fighting, to change your job, to change anything, it's very difficult. So he's doing a great job, man. Looking forward to seeing him fight again. What else you got? Anything else, Dave?
No, we'll wrap up there.
All right, guys, go to WayneInMerch.com, man. Pick up some of our apparel. That's available there. You guys can see Dave scrolling up and down on there. Check out, we got the old logo, the new logo. I think we even got, do we got hindsight 50-50? We don't, huh?
No.
I don't, it's on there. Yeah.
Hindsight 50-50. I know hindsight's not 50-50, guys. Actually, I don't.
No, he doesn't, because I said hindsight's 20-20, and he says, no, it's 50-50.
It's 50-50.
You got DC saying it as well, though?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, he's a copycat. He's always copied me. He's a copycat. Anyways, I love the guy, man. He's a big teddy bear, Kung Fu Panda. Got nothing but respect for him. So I want to thank you guys so much for continuing. But please subscribe to our channel with the $4.99 and the $1.99. And like I said, we're going to be doing giveaways, and we're going to be doing a contest during the month. We're trying to do giveaways every month. And so we're going to have some fun with this, man. And join us over at OnlyFans. We are going to be there for some time, man. So join us over at OnlyFans. It's a great little spot. We got about 800 members, I think, over there right now, and it's growing. So you guys can follow us, follow DJ, follow Luke Rockhold, AJ McKee, Chris Cyborg, Billy Kemper, the surfer. And there's plenty of people over there to follow once you guys start to subscribe to us and follow us over there. Thank you guys so much. And we are going to, John, take us away, buddy. I can't get away from that.
It's real simple. We are out. See ya.